Hey everyone, and welcome to Never Split the Party. We are a Starfinder actual play live stream. You can also find us on YouTube and audio podcast and all that fun stuff. But you're here now, hopefully, watching us play on Twitch. We have episode 6 for you of our second season of our Mostly Harmful campaign. Chris distracted me with actually throwing up 6 fingers. Don't do that again. Never, ever again. My name is Dustin. I also go by the Arbitrary Nerd, and I am the GM for these lovely people and Pat. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves, other than Pat, because I already introduced Pat twice and now 3 times. Pat, it's your turn.
Why, thank you. My name is Patrick, and I am playing the Lashunta envoy named Rye. Wait, what happened? Why
I'm
is it?
sorry, I kept calling you Pat. Patrick hates when I call him Pat, and I
It's true.
apologize.
So anyway, my name is Patrick. I am playing the Lashunta envoy by the name of Rye or Reich Oren. He is the captain of the ship and currently tasting his own blood.
Delicious.
My name is Michael. I'm playing Zero, the android operative, pilot, and not the cause of that.
I'm Chris. I play Mila Dotwood Abigail. I'm a Yosoki mechanic and the ship's engineer.
I'm Nick, and I play Brawl. Is probably the cause of what Rye's feeling, but he's the Yosoki soldier, and he finally hit some things. More than one thing last episode. Mostly Rye for the second.
Mostly one thing.
And we're pretty sure the other thing was a woman.
The other thing is most definitely a woman.
Cannon.
And I'm Justin. I play Seeker, the android technomancer and science officer on this ship, as well as artist. And I had nothing to do with any of that at all
This time.
this time. Yeah, last time I did.
It's important
Okay,
to preface
fair,
that this
fair.
time, Ryan and Brawl did that on their own. All right. For announcements, I believe Nick is our only announcement right now.
I'm the
Announcing
announcement?
Nick.
Did I stutter?
No, but you said I was the announcement.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Feels good to finally have something dedicated to me.
Okay, could you please make an announcement, Nicholas?
Yes. So just an update on the old stream bossarino. I wanted to shout out to Water Draco, whose name you might be familiar with, appeared earlier in this campaign. He at Starship, yeah, ship of the stars, as they might say. He did a donation of 1,400 bits, so the stream boss should be 1,400 bits weaker. We are that much closer to the next encounter, which I believe is an encounter with the BSU mechs. So if you want to see that happen, go ahead, throw some bits our way, or subscribe, whatever you youngins are doing these days.
Awful.
Especially because Dustin doesn't have rules for that yet. So if you really want to see him squirm, that's how you do it.
And the party just starts gifting subs.
Great. Cannot wait. I'm just letting the interwebs know that we are streaming now. All right. For the recap from last episode, we had the previous stream boss encounter kind of come to fruition with the assault on Krellis-ish. There were some BSU soldiers that had boarded the pirate ship that the party is aboard. The party handled them pretty well. They actually divided and conquered because the boarders, the BSU commandos, were also divided. So for once, splitting the party worked out without really any issues. Other than Miller decided to spacewalk, but that's fine.
Again, still no issues.
I'm pretty sure Seeker threw a grenade at both Rye and Miller.
I didn't hit them though.
It's fine. I don't consider that issues. I consider that part of the course. Also, probably Rye deserves it. But moving on, the one of the commandos was pretty summarily dispatched by Brawl. The other two, after sustaining a lot of damage, fled the ship through the holes they had made to enter the ship. And last we're seeing kind of boarding their ship, which is stealthily docked with the pirate ship. This allowed the party to turn their attention to the bounty hunter Krellis, who was holding the crew of the pirate ship, which is Commander Laris, Captain Dustinian, the ace pilot known as Ace, all hostage in the helm. They started off with a gunfight, which saw a pretty decent amount of bullets thrown and some damage fly on the party side. However, Brawl, of all people, managed to get in there and disarm Krellis with his words and slightly intimidating nature in terms of a temporary ceasefire. The temporary ceasefire became a slightly longer temporary ceasefire when Krellis made a deal with a slightly reluctant Seeker to trade for his caster pistol gun thing that I don't think we've given an official name. Is caster pistol actually copyright? I don't know.
Caster Pistol.
I think it's caster shells in Outlaw Star, so I'm going with it. So Seeker gave up the caster pistol to the bounty hunter, who is giving them after a travel time allotment 5 days before they will be back on their trail. Not exactly sure how that's going to pan out. It is 5 days where the party will have time to kind of figure things out. I will say that Krellis pointed out that they expect the party to go to either Eox or Verses due to their objectives, families, friends, etc. that they were aware of. And that left the party with a bit of a heated discussion. And when I say the party, I mean Brawl and Rye. And when I say heated discussion, I mean we literally ended on Brawl's fist buried into Rye's gut. And as a matter of fact, that is exactly where we're going to pick up with the spittle still flying from Rye's lips.
So I will immediately respond, "That's it!" And I take out my my static arc pistol, sacrificing my move, and I will set it to stun, not lethal, and I will attempt to shoot this big old dum-dum in the head. Or, well, not called shot, but you know what I mean.
I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to shoot him in the head. It's fine.
With a stun shot, it only hurts you if you are even aware of what hurt is. So does a
Oh, yes! Nat
No,
2! Yes!
Did you roll?
I rolled a
did.
Brawl.
I rolled
how
a
come I
brawl
don't see
shot,
it?
which I figured was going to happen. So that is my action. And
So you fired the gun, which I believe requires a roll.
which I rolled, which was
He rolled a 2.
No. I mean the D6 roll for Christopher's chart.
oh yeah.
Oh, you rolled a 2?
Yeah, don't say it out loud. I'll tell you when. Just keep that in the back of your noggin.
Is Brawl gonna attack of opportunity?
We're gonna forego that because we're not actually
Okay.
in combat.
Do you want me to kill Rye?
No,
Is the question, because I could probably do so if you
could
grant me that attack.
So I just shout out, "Somebody grab him, or he's dead, or hurt, or something."
You did fire your blaster though, right?
I did, yeah, and I missed.
So it does need a quote.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about that. I got it. The gun's glitching.
Okay, fine. The gun misfires a bit. The electricity channels through the back of the gun. Doesn't actually harm Rye, but it does seem to be stuttering a bit. I suspect at least one thought going through Rye's head is something about Miller's handiwork, but I'm going to let that go. So for the rest of the party right now, we have Rye requesting that Brawl be separated from him before maybe something bad happens. What's your reaction, guys?
So Zero is going to immediately walk up to Rye, grab him by the arm, and like pull his the arm holding the gun like away so he's not aiming at anybody, and decloak. And then put his other hand like kind of gesturing for Brawl to back away.
Mill is still working on the 2 unconscious people.
Which would be Doc Fang, who Miller brought with him, and Ace, the pilot.
And he brought her with. He ejected her and got her.
Fair enough, yes. Seeker, what are you doing?
Yeah, Seeker sees what happens and calls out to Brawl. Brawl, don't! You're gonna kill him like that! Don't! He's not... Get over here! And he just kind of like grabs him. Not knowing that he can't really like restrain him, but just tries to kind of calm him down a bit.
Just because your family doesn't care about you, doesn't mean I shouldn't give a damn about my own family.
Listen here, you solid-headed, gopher-toothed, walking drain plug.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I understand that you are concerned about your family, but going on an almost certain suicide mission isn't going to fix this situation. It is also not lost on me that it's difficult for you to use that head of yours for anything other than propping open doors and knocking against your wall when you're bored. But maybe it would increase your life expectancy a little if you were to not just try to think with it from time to time. And maybe, just maybe, you might not get the entire crew killed in the process. I had no intention of completely abandoning Verces, but sometimes life doesn't go the way you want it, and you need to adjust your plans. We have just 5 days to figure out how to solve a problem revolving around your fellow crew members' potential murder. And when I put everything on paper and think about it, preventing this man's death and ours increases the chances of finding your family, if we are lucky enough to survive. We might not be good friends, and Abadar knows we are not family, but right now we are all we have. So pull it together and show some damned restraint. The first order of business is to solve Miller's problem. Then we can go looking for your family. But I swear to Abadar, if you ever lay a hand on me like this again, or any member of this crew for that matter, you will be without ship, you will be without crew, and you will be without luck. Get out of my sight. And scene. And
Now
then
does
my
the
gun
gun go
goes
off?
You hear a little bit of static. Yeehaw!
Yeah. I didn't realize you were delaying the gun's trigger. So yeah, all right. Brawl, what's your response?
I storm out.
I storm out.
Wait, did you say you both storm out?
You guys should both storm out down the
Together.
same hallway.
Only one
No,
door
I'm
out.
storming out.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Four
storming out.
corridors and then meet up again.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I won't storm out then.
Well, currently
You
you
both
were
noticed
actually
I
the
told
gun,
you that's
but,
what I was gonna do, Pat.
I know,
I'm gonna storm out.
I forgot
Ryan's
we-
going to.
I forgot we weren't on our ship. I was going to go the opposite way. I forgot where we were.
you were being detained by me anyways.
Yeah, fine. All right. Does the crew or party have any response to that before moving on to the next bit?
Miller just sighs audibly.
Oh, I'm not
Seeker
listening. And
is-
I should note, I'm not listening to any responses.
Seeker is just like, oh, it's like mouth agape, just like, what? What just?
I at least attempt to disarm Ryan until I know he's not trying to follow Brawl, or at least until he's calmed down.
Oh yeah, I'm stewing over in the corner, attempting to help out one of the downed people.
From the corner, Dustinian swivels around in the chair. Well, you'd have just shot him, right, Commander? You just kill him at that point, yeah? Laris, the hairless gnome, still sitting in the commander's chair, nonplussed out the entire hostage situation, just nods in agreement. I'm not sure that keeping a hot head like that around is good for crew morale, if you know what I mean, Captain Rye.
I haven't
That
more
was
than
the other one that liked him.
What was that?
I thought it was the other one that liked him.
The heavier Irish accent was Dustinian picking up again.
Oh, okay.
Laris technically doesn't have an Irish accent. It's just a mix of things because he's a mongrel, as far as any of you guys know.
At that point, Miller would kind of like look up to the commander. Excuse me, Commander. You want to give me a hand over here? I don't really know what to do with Doc Fangs here.
I've got him. You don't need to worry about it. He finally kind of pops off of his chair. His feet don't otherwise touch the ground, so he actually has to, remove himself from the chair with a little bit of grace. He heads over. He is able to lift Doc Fang onto his shoulders in a fireman carry and walks the unconscious creature thing, alien, out of the room.
As
So,
he's
like,
like leaving the room, Miller kind of speaks up again. You might want to check for frostbite. He was jettisoned out into space for a number of minutes.
We don't have to particularly worry about that with Doc Fang, but thank you.
Noted.
When everything seems like I don't need to be there, I walk off and say, I'm gonna go make food for people's strength before this one makes art out of it. And I walk out.
Okay.
Who's making art? Who? And now's certainly not the time for it. I mean, yeah, no, totally not the time.
Miller, Ace
serious
is
time.
stabilized and fine.
So she's awake.
She's coming to, yes.
All right. I guess it falls on me to do damage control, huh? 0.
They'll probably listen to you.
Damn it.
Look at how sad Nick looks with those giant Hulk hands. For the
All right.
podcast.
Well,
Nobody will listen to me, so I'm not doing it.
why don't you go hang out with Rye? I'll go talk to Brawl.
Okay.
Question for Ryan Brawl. Were you guys planning to respond to this now or later when you guys are back on the ship and doing your own thing? Or back on a ship doing your own thing, depending on what the plan is?
Oh, this is gonna stew and fester. At
All
least,
right.
well, we don't have an idea for a resolution right now. We
Yeah,
just
no
know
immediate resolution.
we know we want to grow the dynamic, I think, or at least
Okay. Well, the party needs to know what's coming next. Yeah. So you guys still have to figure out where you're going next. I will say maybe a couple hours pass, and Miller's called to ask to help, put the ship back together a little bit, because some of the crew, at least below decks, were actually severely wounded. It doesn't look like anyone on the above decks was actually killed. Doc Fangs would have been the only one if you guys hadn't saved him. But there was some damage to the outside of the ship. As you guys kind of watch on the monitor, I guess before the repairs take place, you kind of finally get a scan of the BSU ship that was stealthily attached to the mothership. It only gets a little bit away, and the mothership, they try to warm it up to respond, but the systems aren't responding. The BSU ship actually does explode without any prompting in space, supposedly taking care of the 2 commandos that got away. And some of you may remember that Krellis had mentioned already taking care of it.
Was there any type of scan from whatever vessel Krellis left on?
There's probably was a heat blip from the other side of the asteroid that quickly and rapidly removed itself. In terms of a ship type, I think most of your systems were shut down inside of the mothership by the commandos. They had used some sort of localized EMP charges, which had disabled both early warning systems detection as well as the safety systems, which is why the gaping holes inside of the ship weren't actually fixed until Dustinian manually overrode things. So the sensors and everything aren't back up for a couple of hours. So you might get, like I said, very minimal readings that a ship has departed. I will at least throw you guys that bone. But as to, exactly what it is, you just don't have enough systems to generate a response.
Are we all in the same room at this point? Oh, jeepers.
Yeah, we can move away from roll 20. A couple of hours pass, and I would say if no one else does, Laris would like to call everyone together at the very least, because they do need to make plans as to what comes next, especially since, and you guys can kind of hear the bustling moving around you guys, they are deciding to relocate their base, which again was always mobile to begin with. It's mostly the mothership itself, but they did have this little asteroid as a landing platform, and they no longer have that. They won't use this ever again.
Okay.
I think I'm hearing somebody's fan. No, went away. That's fine. Chris,
Yeah,
you
I
got
can
something
hear.
going on in your end? Justin, can you hear it? I guess it
Yes.
doesn't matter. You
Yes,
can
I
hear it.
I can hear it as well.
It might be the bathroom fan, which I can't really do anything about. It's like downstairs in the
Why are
bathroom.
you in your bathroom?
All right, this might be an instance where you want to look into like a noise gate for the future.
Believe me, it's on the list.
Okay. No. I mean like a noise gate was something you can do in Justin was talking about it, how you can
Oh,
set it
yeah.
on your computer, so it'll block any sound that's kind of at a certain level. So it'll pick up when you speak because that spikes it, but everything else gets shut down. I actually have to do that manually because my computer has feedback. I think because I'm not grounded or something. So I every now and then have stuff.
I think it's the refrigerator.
I don't hear it now, so you're good.
All right, so what are we doing, guys?
I thought y'all were about to split up to 10 to the peoples.
That's already been done. Yeah, we're fast forwarding past the. Oh, you mean to Rye and Brawl?
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'll
what-
let you guys do that if you want to handle it that way. I assumed Rye and Brawl did not want to handle it that way.
Well, we're not gonna talk to each other at this current moment. Whatever happens in the rest of the episode happens. But that was the only bit we had.
Okay.
So Miller was going with Brawl, and I assumed both Zero and Seeker were going towards to Rye.
Yeah, I'll go to Rye. Might not want to
Zero
talk to me,
and
but
Seeker are going to Rye.
No staring contest.
Fun times with androids.
I don't know. Is Zero coming? I mean, I'll go. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I might not end up actually talking, but at least, well, it's gonna depend on what Rye says.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll go talk to Rye. See how he's doing after that outburst. So what's Rye doing?
Rye is currently finishing up the preparation for a giant meal. He cooks when he's angry.
Of course he does.
He's steaming some bread for various sausages and whatnot. And there's this big spread. Let's see how impressive that is. Hold on.
Man, it sounds delicious. It'd be great if maybe Brawl could have some of that.
I'm cooking for everybody.
No, Brawl just
I
gets
might have spit
Seeker
one of them.
eggs.
I rolled a 20 for the quality of this food. Not even kidding.
Nice.
I made a good spread.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Rice oven quality.
So I'm just cooking and putting it down. And I just slide a plate over to Seeker. Manja, if you do.
I have no idea what that means, but thank you. And it looks really nice. These are probably that's probably the best bread I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So why did he want your gun?
What? Well, you saw it, didn't you? I shot magic out of it. It's a magic gun.
Do you know Krellis?
Do I know Krellis? Not really.
Sense motive?
Sense motive.
I only got-
Is Zero with us right now?
Yeah. that's what I
Okay,
was
you
following.
are actually with us. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you only. Oh, I did not realize that you did end up coming. I thought you said you weren't going to.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to play it off that I didn't, I can say I didn't.
Oh, well, I thought you said you were going to come. You weren't probably going to talk.
Yeah, I misunderstood that as.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
19. Assuming you still say all that.
Yeah.
I'd say that gets transpired, but it can change whether or not Rye pushes the issue further, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you know what? Telepathically.
all right, so you're gonna talk telepathically. You're gonna have a staring contest.
I'm just gonna shoot that one across.
Is it gonna be more than that question? Because I can have everyone else take their headphones off if you want. Let's go for it. Everyone, take your headphones off, please. Other than Justin and Patrick.
Okay.
I don't have anything planned, so this is gonna be.
I'm gonna roll
Well,
a perception
I'll tell you
check
right
to see what I
now-
perceive as far as
Like facial emotions. All right, roll
Yes.
it, and I'll keep a running tally of things I think would be visible.
21.
And I'll take your headphones off.
So, telepathically. How much do you know, Krellis?
Let me tell you this. Now is not a good time. Why don't you meet me in my quarters later, and we will discuss this further.
He's not gonna overhear you.
It is not the time at the moment. We have other
Laugh
things going
anyway.
on. Huh?
I said, laugh anyway. But seriously.
I'm serious. Please come to my quarters later and we shall discuss this in private.
And I look at Zero. What are you, vegan? And I turn around.
What, to me? Oh.
No, Zero.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about,
yeah. All right.
So I don't know if you want to describe what.
I got it. I got your back. Zero. So what you see, it's a very brief internal discussion. With your perception roll, I'm going to say that you're savvy enough to know that something did transpire mentally. There was enough of a pause and the eyes direct locking between Zero and Rye. After a couple moments
Wrong
pass.
people.
Sorry,
Oh,
Rye and Seeker. They all look alike. My bad.
Can I make a bluff roll for my laugh?
Yes, make a bluff roll because partway through,
So
or
would
I guess
I roll a sense motive against it?
yes. Wait for you, but so maybe a couple moments pass, and then Rye begins to laugh, and then a split second later, Seeker begins to laugh, and it's kind of like a big boisterous laugh. And as far as you can tell, it might have been some off-color thing that Rye had decided to say about Seeker and Krellis, just without you overhearing, because you'd seem to think the laugh was at least genuine enough that you couldn't give much more than that.
I then
As
looked at
they,
you. Oh,
sorry, what?
I said I then looked at you and slid over a sausage to you and said, "What are you, vegan?" And I turned around and I went back to my cooking.
Slid over to Seeker.
Zero.
To you, Zero.
You never gave me food.
I just did.
He literally, like, as he was like, after the
Okay.
fake laugh, or well, as far as you can tell, real laugh, he slides you a sausage.
Yeah.
But really, we're here to talk about, what just happened.
What just
So
happened
you're
was
saying you
another
two were
act.
just talking?
Oh no, we were fighting. You didn't see him charge me and punch me?
I looked to Seeker. So you and Rye were just talking.
What?
You just responded to him as though you were just having a conversation.
Well, wait. What? I thought he said...
Okay,
I
I'm
thought
not
he said,
imagining
yeah,
this. That's
I thought
how
he
he
said
said it,
Krellis.
right?
The Krellis question I thought he asked.
I
in
did ask
just
that telepathically.
out loud. Oh, you asked that telepathically.
No, that was the whole.
In that case, I wouldn't have opened up like that. With my first sentence, I would have just said, so about what happened, back in the.
Too late. We already
Bridge.
retconned it.
No, stop it, Patrick. We can always
Oh.
edit the podcast. I don't care about Twitch people. Sorry, Twitch. Shut up.
Ouch.
Justin, give me a third take, please, for the podcast.
So, Rye, about what happened on the bridge there. You want to talk about it?
I'm confused. Is this telepathically?
No, this
No.
is for real. This is in.
About the. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. What you saw was yet another act of emotional tomfoolery run amok. I love Twitch. That looked like a butt. Your heart looked like
It's
a
also
butt.
backwards, isn't it? That's fine. Let it go.
Oh, it
she
was good.
looked
It was
like
good.
Something else. So I say that was another act, yet again, of emotional outburst and tomfoolery. And frankly, I've grown sick of it.
I don't know if I'd call it tomfoolery. That's
It was tomfoolery. It was kung fu treachery.
who treachery.
And I will not have any more of that on this ship or any ship.
Now, I definitely agree that he should not have hit you. That was wrong of him. And you made a good point there. And I do agree with what you had said to him afterwards. But before that, that was really not very nice at all.
I'm not nice.
I can see that. Maybe I've misplaced.
What do you mean
Oh,
I'm not
missed,
nice? I just made you sausage.
Huh? But
In that case, I'm disappointed in you.
I'm confused in you.
Sorry,
I mean, in
Dad.
me.
Very young dad.
You don't know that. I've
Listen,
seen you
fact of the
talk down
matter
how
is-
many people, and that's how you respond.
I am a person who talks. It is what I do. It is the gift that I am given. It gets me into situations and it gets me out of situations. Most of the time, it gets us out of situations. Now, we need to be able to talk to each other and be able to handle sometimes our feelings get hurt. Okay? I understand he is in a crap situation, but we are all in a crap situation. And he is attempting to do something that is putting one of our lives in danger. It's putting all of our lives in danger. So his feelings take a backseat to common sense and logistics. Sure, maybe I could have put it lighter, but the facts are facts. And that was not okay. On any other ship, he'd be court-martialed again or abandoned on a planet, which frankly doesn't sound bad. Now, if you don't have any more comments about this delicious, delicious food, I think I'm done with this.
Well, what would you suggest we do about the situation then? Not between you and Brawl. That you guys can work yourselves out. You're big.
Adults.
Yes.
I said, we're going to eat, we're going to heal, I'm going to place this rib back into place, and then we're going to come up with a plan to save the life of Miller. After that, and we make sure that Krellis is off of our back, we'll go and we'll check into Brawl's family. And if he's not a total ass, maybe we don't leave him there.
Fair enough.
I'm a captain, damn it. Not a mascot. And I turn around and I walk back.
That's entirely
I'm clearly
true.
done with the conversation.
That leaves Miller. Did you actually go to Brawl, or did
Oh,
we
yeah.
leave Brawl? You did? All right, let's pan over to Brawl and Miller then.
All right. I assume that you went to your room.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So you guys went back aboard the Indecision.
Yep. So to the Indecision. Miller makes his way inside, gets to the door, and
Rex waves.
Who is it?
it's me.
It was
You in there,
Miller.
cuz?
Rex slowly rolls out of the hallway backwards and just kind of disappears around the corner.
Brawl opens the door for Miller.
All right. So Miller just kind of walks in, takes a seat right on the edge of the bed. Have a seat, bud.
Brawl, still in his power armor, mind you, takes a seat on his bed.
The bed kind of crimples up. Miller's up to one side.
Just
You know, it looks good on you. That the power arm I'm talking about. Yeah. So yeah, you're understandably a little upset. Yeah. Things were said, actions were made. So what he did say, it might not be wrong. You know this. I know this. And I understand your frustration. I do. Brawl, how big's your family?
why it's me and two others now. Used to be 4 of us, but I lost one of them a long time ago.
Yeah. So just want to let you know that a lot of us are in the same boat here. As you know, I haven't had contact with my family. And yeah, we might have stopped the station from crashing into the planet, but who knows what follow-up attacks might have happened in this year. Do you know I'm one of 16?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm close to all my brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, I don't have any parents anymore, but at least we're all pretty close. And I haven't talked to them in about 2.5, 3 years, ever since I left for school.
It's been about that long for myself too.
Just saying. Yeah, we gotta keep keep an eye out. Just calm down a little. I know Bry can be a little rough around the edges. His passive aggressiveness versus your aggressiveness, your regular aggressiveness. What I'm saying is, we gotta figure out what to do here. I mean, we're very much wanted. We're very much in enemy territory, and I don't know. We got to stick together. And I don't think Rye actually meant what you think it meant. In the heat of the moment, yes, it was a really dick move, a space dick move, even.
In
But-
the heat of the moment,
Mhm.
I let my emotions get to me. Normally, I wouldn't try to sacrifice, if not the mission, one of your own lives. But you just hit such a sore spot for me.
Yeah, and you got him. You got him.
Oh, I
I
got
mean,
him all right.
You're much.
Emerald over here. Bam.
But we do have to figure out where we're going. And you know, as well as I do, that Verces and Eox might not be the best place for us right now. You catch what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
I have been thinking. I do have connections. Connections everywhere. You remember Sal, my buddy Sal? He actually has a casino right here in the Diaspora. Or I'm sorry, not him, but his brother, Flisco. I could see what we could do. Maybe he has something going on, because I'm sure he knows the situation that's going on in Eox. We got to do something. We just can't be here. And he emphasizes here.
I just need to know what has happened with them. If it's not indirectly going to Verces, everything I've tried, I haven't been able to contact them. I just want to know, if anything.
Closure. I got you.
Yes.
Believe me, I've been working on it too. But here's the thing. Your relationship with Rye can't be mended by me. It's got to be done by you two.
I'll try my best not to sock it to him anymore.
Do that. I think apologies are in order. Please don't hit me. I mean,
I wouldn't hit you.
You may have broken a few ribs, may have collapsed a lung or something. I don't know. He was bleeding from the mouth.
I can get carried away sometimes.
Yes, those guns are pretty large. Boom. Did I do it right?
Boom! Boom!
Boom. Boom.
From outside in the hallway, you hear Rex's voice, like tinny voice. Boom, boom.
Now, what can I do right now for you to make you feel better?
I just need some time to cool off.
Gotcha. Well, if you need me, I'll be in the engine room. Actually, no, I'll be helping repairs on the mothership. It took some damage. Buck up, buddy.
All right. So as you open the door to leave, Miller, both Stevenson and Rex kind of fall in because their ears, or what serves as ears for Rex, are kind of pressed to the door, trying to listen to your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They both stand up and kind of, look sheepishly. Rex just rolls away, like he just nope. He strolls past Not Sob, who's still walking around in his apron. He was not involved in the conversation. I didn't care. And Stevenson, looking a little embarrassed. Miller, is there anything I can do to help aboard the mothership? I heard you said there might be some repairs needed.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. What's the guy's name? Who's the little guy that really liked us?
Gil.
Yeah, Gil. You're gonna want to report to Gil. I'm sure he would love to have you on board.
Gotcha. Thanks, Miller. And he scurries off. Stevenson, being a human from the planet Revel that they picked up last season. Rex being the ship's robot, for those who haven't interacted with Rex. Looks like a lovely mix between Johnny 5 and C-3PO, because I want to be sued. And yeah, all right. So we pan out. The mothership is getting repaired. The party helps out with that. And then after a little bit of time has passed, as soon as the ship is really able to get moving, Commander Laris absolutely kind of gets them going. Ship takes off. All of their kind of ancillary smaller ships, because again, the mothership is a massive warship. They just kind of get going and traveling through the diaspora. They don't tell you what their destination is. You're not quite sure if they have a destination, but they have mobilized their entire force. And Commander Laris calls the party, as well as Dustinian, and he'll call Stevenson as well, all to attend him in their conference area, which is set like midway back down towards the just midship. Do you guys have anything you're doing before you join this committee meeting?
I summon Rex to be essentially one of those rollable carts that carry food.
You can't leave, though.
Okay, sure. Nope, that's good. So as you kind of call Rex to do that, I'm assuming you just call him on a comm, right? You don't go to the indecision?
Right.
Okay. He says, yeah, I'll get right on that, boss. No problem. And, comm ends. He doesn't ever show up.
Yeah.
You wait for like a good 10 minutes. Like, come on, what do you call him again, or do you let it go?
You know he's probably in our ship's conference room, right?
I let it go. And wait, what was that?
You said he's probably in our ship's conference room or dining area.
I'm just thinking about how we could alternatively use his parts. That sounded bad.
Yeah, it did.
Yep. Rye just knows how to be a people person. He's the most empathetic.
Now Patrick's hurting Rye.
Yep.
I almost made a joke about a stick shift too.
Nope. So we're letting his non-attendance go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. Anything else anyone's doing prior to the conference?
Can I talk to the commander?
Yes.
I want to bring up my idea that I had with Brawl regarding Flisco Turn of On the Turn Casino.
Sure. So as you approach Commander Laris, he stops, puts his little hands on his little hips, raises his hairless eyebrow, which I don't really know how that's going to look, but with a quizzical look, and motions for you to continue your spiel.
Commander, when I was on Pistol, I had a opportunity to work with A1 Salsco Turn. We had a really great relationship. I helped out his family, not only and his business. And I know that he has a brother right here in the diaspora named Flisco, and he actually owns the casino On the Turn. What is the state of that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with On the Turn. I suspect most people in the diaspora would be. It's well, let me put it this way. It is a known entity. It is as busy as ever. You will find pirates, scum, villainy, wannabe do-gooders, actual heroes, ex-stewards, starfinders, and most importantly, just enough Gerson Sphere spies to keep that place useful to whomever is running their show. Uh, we don't have any contact. We don't make any contact, and I have forbidden expressly any of my crew from going to the casino because, as you can see, the Border Space Union are. Old habits. The Gerson Sphere. They've got it out for us in particular.
Mm-hmm.
As remnants, mostly from Pistol, we're not their biggest fans either.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's start this conference then. Unless
Seeker, do you had something?
Yeah, actually, at some point before the conference, when we have some time, Seeker was just gonna go up to Miller really quick and be like, "Oh, hey, remember how we were talking about those noisemakers that you had? Would I be able to borrow some of those? Huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How many do I have? I think I only made one. Yeah. So he gives you one of the noisemakers.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you to allow me to have one of these that you made. It's such a good job too. Wow, it looks great.
You don't even know what it does.
It makes noise. How do you use it?
There you go. So, like any grenade, you pull the pin, you throw it.
Oh.
You throw it at the target.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Oh yeah, I've seen you do it. Not like a certain somebody. As long as you don't blow yourself up.
It blows up?
Well, I mean, it pops and then there's a bunch of stuff that goes everywhere. And let me tell you, they're highly distracting.
Oh, very nice.
I had Not Sob and Brawl going for hours.
Well, thank you very much. That's all I really wanted to do.
I like that Brawl is on the same level of their half-mute, half-depressed goblin attendant. I don't even know what he is at this point.
Oh no, I just assumed it was very distracting. You know, just fun to watch, just, like a cat.
Yeah, that's
watching
awesome.
a laser pointer.
You see Brawl in power armor.
Clong, 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 clong.
And this is why they invent kittens mittens in this universe, is because Brawl stomping around.
You'd be smitten.
All right. So the conference, which is probably a more grandiose name than what it is, it's just a smallish room with a centralized table with chairs around it, enough for everyone, and a largest vid screen on one wall used for tactical planning and things like that. The vid screen's off right now. Larissa actually, the little gnome that he is, likes to be the most imposing thing in the room, has everyone sit, and then climbs up onto the table where he will pace back and forth while speaking with the party. Arms behind his back, looking rather regal if he wasn't walking on a table in between all of you. And without much preamble, he says, I intend to support the Pact Breakers. I think that our goals are aligned, that our people are interchangeable. However, I would appreciate some distance until the bounty hunter kills that one, points at Miller.
Noted.
Or you sort that problem out from the mothership. While it's true the Border Space Union is always looking for us, I am very doubtful that the bounty hunter wasn't responsible for their finding us this time. I'd like to avoid that in the future. So, we will give you access to our ship, a little, transport. One of my crew member I will let you choose. They will take you wherever you need to go within reason, and they'll also know how to get back in touch with us when you're ready to pick up the indecision. I'll do one better than that because I want to be clear that we do support you while you are doing whatever it is you are doing. Again, until I assume that one dies. Points again at Miller.
Noted.
We will affect repairs and upgrades on your ship. It's looking a little beat up and it could use a bit of an upgrade, I think. Now, where in all of the Durkin hells are you guys going?
You're muted, Pat.
Thank you, Michael, for actually watching Patrick.
He-
We all
He
ignored
looked
him.
so happy to talk too.
Yeah, he did.
He was like,
I'm glad you asked.
For the-
Oh wait.
For the record, I also purposely waited like 3 or 4 seconds.
I hate you all. Am I
Don't worry,
talking?
the feeling's mutual.
All right. So, at this point, I say, well, frankly, that's what we're here to find out. I say, let's pool our resources. Let's put our minds together. What do we know?
Well,
What do
our
we need to know,
so
and who do we know that can help?
our trip
And
to
can I interrupt
Versius.
you one more time?
If we still went to Versius, we probably wouldn't need a full 5 days.
We're not going to Versies.
I'm cool with it.
Android, Laris chimes in, isn't necessarily wrong. The bounty hunter gave you travel time to get to Versus or Eox and then start their 5-day countdown, which honestly tells me you're doomed one way or the other. But the android's not wrong. You could get to Versus and be off of the planet. There's no embargoes, there's no restrictions. It's probably the nicest planet in the packed worlds right now for strangers to, well, maybe not strangers, for business to be conducted. Let's rephrase it that way.
But he's also aware that we're going to be there. Or an Eox, I believe was the other one I asked out of character.
Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
Yep.
What we need to do is we need to eliminate this threat. The only way that we eliminate this threat is if he's eliminated, or if we get rid of the need for him to be there in the first place. Which
Yes,
means
but
we
you're
have-
Expecting you
also
getting eliminated.
you're also missing an opportunity.
what's
could
that
s-
opportunity?
We could leave some type of clue that would lead him somewhere else.
Mhm.
Feed Krellis misinformation and
I
it could
mean-
buy us more time on other planets.
Here's my idea. We could go to Verses. We could hit up some of the major cities. We can ask about all sorts of stuff about Eox. And then we go to Castrovel.
The person who's put out the hit on you. What do we know about that person?
They're a bounty hunter. A very good
No.
one.
They
They're a
hired
Vesk.
another.
Well, actually, do we know that?
The person
Well,
Yeah.
I hope so
Oh, the
because
the
I
person-
killed their son.
I thought you meant Krellis. I thought you meant actually Krellis.
No, they're talking about the person who hired.
Ah, yes. Yeah, a high-ranking Vesk, actually, I believe.
And this was the one that we came across when we found our ship, correct?
Yeah,
Mhm.
let me play that back a little bit so the people who maybe didn't watch season 1 can get kind of up to snuff. Right before the party boarded the Indecision for the first time, their personal starship, it had crash landed in a dome. and the crash site was being guarded by one singular Vesk wearing military armor, apparently associated with the BSU, and let slip something for the Veskarium, which is a independent a space empire run by Vesk, the rather large lizard folk of the Starfinder verse. Miller handily dispatched this Vesk with a headshot, I believe.
Oh yeah, like a nat 22 or
Yeah,
something.
like killing it instantly. And the party, in their infinite wisdom, ejected the body from the ship when they hit atmosphere. Hit open
Space.
orbit around the space station. The body then was pulled into the gravitational pull of the station and kind of like clumped underneath it for a while, where apparently it was found. They didn't know the identity of this Vesk, but it turns out it was the son of at least the leading Vesk matriarch that was in the area, working with the Border Space Unit at the time, which again has rebranded in the Pact Worlds to the Gerson Sphere. So it's all kind of interrelated. And this matriarch's name is Oda Shen. You guys, what was that?
We did know that.
Yeah, that was noted. Or I actually don't remember if you guys knew it was Oda Shen. I will give it to you guys.
Because didn't she show up on the big thing during the interaction?
I don't think she ever got to the part about her son being killed. That was in my script, but I don't think it came out. But that's okay. I'll say that maybe that came out like as stuff you guys heard throughout the year gap. Like you heard very specifically, and that probably would have triggered something for you guys. Like ooh. I wonder how that Vesk died on pistol. So you guys know at the very least that it was Oda Shen's son. And the name was I'll give you to you guys know it was Varkus. Varkus is the Vesk that Miller killed.
Can you spell that?
Are you kidding me, Patrick? Varkas. I know you're not writing it down.
No, but Chris is.
But I am. I'm taking notes.
No, you're not.
What?
He's lying to me.
He's acting, actually.
Yeah, I
A
can't.
nice white screen.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
oh,
Wow.
man. There it is.
I
I
apologize.
accept your apology.
I am so sorry. I doubted you. I'm not necessarily going to stop doubting you, but at least this time it was unfounded.
No, I think it was quite founded.
I came prepared.
You're right. You did.
Figured out beforehand.
Yep.
So that's why he wrote it down, because he already had notepad up from his earlier speech.
Nope, that was in Word. Hold on, let me grab my webcam. again.
No, we're good. Please, moving forward. All right. Yes. Varkas, Varkas. Oda Shen is Odashen. And when I say Vesk matriarch, I guess in terms of position for her, and if you guys don't know this, Loris can probably fill you in at least a little bit. She is the leader of the Veskarium forces in the Pact Worlds. Now, the Veskarium and the Pact Worlds, prior to the pistol incident, had a non-aggression pact sign. They became kind of like tense allies because of an external threat that they dealt with, and that peace has lasted. After the pistol incident, you guys aren't quite sure as a party what the stance is between the Veskarium and the Pact Worlds, but there's been like rumors that the Veskarium is actively now kind of moved in a bit to the Pact Worlds as its own entity, not in association with the Pact Worlds. But again, that's all hearsay because you guys have just recently managed to make it back into the Pact Worlds. So this hit was hired. It wasn't really a hit. You're supposed to be captured alive. Is from Oda Shen, matriarch of the Vesk, due to the murder of her son, Varkus.
Have we had any contact with Chamomile?
Chimera.
That's the one.
Chimera, the Lashunta.
I just want to interject that Rye doesn't remember the name of the ladies he's had interactions with.
Intercourse.
Thank you for making it.
Interactive.
To be fair,
Seeker.
moving on, Chimera is a Lashunta ally that they actually escaped Pyramid Station Alpha with. She is the pilot and owner of the Fallen Angel, which you guys have not seen in the year since you guys departed Pistol and the pistols that occurred. You know that she eventually made it back to Castrovel with Justinian who you guys have spoken with. You may have spoken with Chimera off and on, but probably not very much. But she is on Castrovel.
Okay.
What about the
And working
woman
with you
from-
guys. To be clear, she is in full support of you guys.
what about the woman that took over that gang, the one that destroyed the
You're talking
antenna?
about Captain Sally.
Yeah, that one.
Who also went by Captain Sal, but we, after the initial confusion with Miller's friend Sal, kind of gave you the full name of Sally. In terms of her contact, probably minimal. You guys definitely had some contact, but she is not in full support of you, other than good job sticking it to the Border Space Union, but beyond that, not willing to support you. They're doing their own. Again, they've got their own little small and kind of getting larger pirate enterprise in the Vast, which is a very different beast than pirates located in the Pact Worlds. The Pact Worlds are very much governed space, other than the Diaspora, this massive asteroid field, a relatively stable asteroid field. In the Vast, Captain Sally goes everywhere and anywhere. There's really no limitations on that end. Additional questions, guys?
Well, if we're done with backup or
No,
backstory
you go.
stuff. Good. Well, the question we have to ask ourselves is, what's easier to deal with, Krellis or this Vesk matriarch that we don't quite know and probably has plenty of protection around her?
Probably the best matriarch.
Really? I mean, we do have
Krellis
giant
is
mechs. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if Krellis does.
Krellis seemed to find us pretty easily,
Yeah.
and the Gerson sphere hasn't.
Krellis must have some sort of tracking on us. I'm gonna have to check the ship again.
I look at Seeker with the most suspicious look. Am I muted?
No. You're not
Yeah.
always muted, Pat. Just 90% of the time.
And you are so lucky because it has not been a day, so I cannot use my mind.
I mean, no, that's
actually, how long has it been, Dustin?
Not
'Cause, I
quite
mean,
a day.
that's just me. To tell you the truth, that's just me talking about
Sure, you don't.
whatever.
It's fine.
But,
I'm just.
yeah. Because I mean, we could set a trap for it, him, it, they, them,
Krellis.
Gee,
for Krellis.
I'm down.
Especially if they know we're going somewhere.
Look, what he said, and I believe him, is that he knows that we're most likely to go to either Eox or Versius.
Doesn't mean they won't follow us elsewhere.
You are correct. It does not. But we can at least attempt to avoid that. We have 5 days to try to figure out a plan. We have resources and we have people to try to figure out something. I'm not saying that we commit matricide. What's the term?
Matricide, isn't it?
No, that's when
Metroid's killing your own mom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Regicide.
Regicide.
Yeah, regicide.
I'm not saying that we commit regicide, but perhaps we see what else we can find out and get ahead of the Krellis problem.
Zero, what do you think? Aren't you a... I actually don't... Do I know that Zero's a bounty hunter? Zero's a bounty hunter, right?
no,
No?
no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, he's a silent killer of everything.
Yeah,
For
what
the
do
record,
you...
the only people I've killed, you guys have told me to kill.
yeah, no, you're fine. I'm just playing up the joke.
You're pretty covert. What would you say we do? How would you think we should deal with a bounty hunter of Krellis's renown?
We either take out the person willing to pay him, or we have to constantly give him misinformation so he never catches up to us.
Dustinian, who is at one of the seats, and is kind of combing out his luscious, long blonde hair that got a little mussed with the Krellis encounter, he decides to chime in at this point, and he says, "Well, we don't know what you're all whinging about. You know where Krellis is going to be. That's not going to happen every time. Why aren't you setting up shop on Verces or Eox? Oof, Verces. Ugh, Eox, dead things, gross. And entrench yourselves. Be ready."
That's what I was saying.
If he comes back from Miller, I'm not letting him take Miller.
Well, that was never really a
No,
solution.
I'm
was
not
I was
going.
going to suggest that. Yeah, that was one of my solutions. Yeah.
I'm going to make sure he doesn't take anybody by punching him more than once.
Again, I don't think Krellis has a mech. But guess who does?
They
As far as we know, though, those things are for anti-ship.
Doesn't
Yeah,
mean he can't step on someone.
So in terms of the specs, because you guys have gone through basic like tutorials
Yeah.
inside of the mechs, they actually are not functional in atmosphere. These units are specifically built with high speed and high mobility for use in space. They don't have the correct tonnage to strength support when put in atmosphere.
Makes sense. Never mind. I didn't say that because I'm smarter than that. My character
That's fair.
sheet says
That-
I have like 20 something.
I will allow that as a retcon, mostly because that's still stuff that you guys haven't quite fleshed out yet. But they are specifically built. Now, there may be other models later that are land-based, but the Gerson Sphere prioritized these models, and they just simply are not built in such a way that they actually function in any sort of real gravity. Maybe on a low-gravity moon, they'd work about the same, or like a space station to some extent, but like actually on, say, planet Verces, they would almost immediately topple over, and they need to be carted around by vehicle.
I look at Justinian and I say, I don't think you quite understand. I've seen this person in action multiple times. He has dispatched 2 simultaneous factions. We do not pose a threat to Krellis, no matter how prepared we are.
I would say with some preparation, we could probably hold our own.
I think I could take him.
You're wrong. and you
What do you know about Krellis?
To Dustinian?
No, Sika.
Oh, to Seeker.
I just know as much as you do. It's a bounty hunter.
Sense motive.
But we
35 on a sense motive.
I mean, I'm actually not lying. That's not a lie. I don't actually know much about Krellis.
Roll me a bluff anyways, and I will tell you I'll tell them the feeling they get.
Got a nat 20 on that.
Yeah, that's
Not
a
only
good.
that,
no,
that's a
not
good
only
sense
did he
motive.
get a nat 20, he got a nat
highest
6.
possible roll that you could possibly get.
That's the best roll I can do.
So what he's saying is you can't beat him.
No, I
even with
can't.
a nat 20.
cannot
Okay.
Can't.
So in terms of this, based on the phrasing that has been given, you're not able to discern any active lying, although I will say there's some reservation.
All I know is that Krellis is a bounty hunter from Cosmos.
That's actually,
Which-
sorry, I'll retcon that. We had a conversation about Cosmos. Actually, Krellis is not affiliated.
Oh, he's not? Oh,
That's an
okay.
important distinction,
All right.
because if they
All
were,
right.
there'd be a bigger issue.
Yep. Then I didn't say. Jeez, everything I'm saying, it's like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say
Well,
that.
we're going
Now,
on
calm
like,
down there, Hagrid.
like like what 70 hours of the show. Like
Yeah,
there are gonna be
yeah.
a couple things that we kind of get must. And Cosmos is something that hasn't been addressed
Yep.
to the greater public, other than that small off chat that we had on stream. Hasn't come up yet, so that's totally fair that you wouldn't know that. But Cosmos specifically not affiliated with.
Okay, then really, like I said, the only thing I know is that it's a very dangerous bounty hunter, just like you
And-
guys know.
And I'd say I would say phrased that way, you actually are not able to discern any lies, right? And you feel like you've got a really good bead on your android friend, as weird as he is.
I mean, they were very. The only reason why I bring it up is they were very, very willing to take you up on the favor owed, which I found kind of weird, but I kind of let it, glance out.
It is weird. I wasn't expecting it to work.
I telepathically shoot over to him rudely, excluding everyone else. Why would he be interested in your favor? Now's a perfect time.
Now is not a perfect time.
Now is a perfect time.
Now is not a perfect time.
Now's the time.
Believe me, it is not a perfect time, Rye. I will tell you, don't worry.
Seeker, do you want to roll intimidate?
Oh, I love this idea that like they're staring at each other and just.
Do you want to bring more danger into this conversation
Can
right now? Do
we
you want
make
to
perception
make things
checks to see
worse?
if we see things?
Let them do their thing, and then we'll do perception checks for that after.
Do you want to make things worse, Rye?
I just want to know. I'm not saying.
Then stop for now.
Does my sense motive still apply?
You're feeling at least a little bit threatened, or that there's some real seriousness in terms of his statements.
So his statement about it being dangerous is accurate. I feel.
Yes, there's real danger imbued in those words. Not directed at you. When I said threaten, I more meant there's a threat being addressed, but not disclosed.
I understand.
Look,
I let
it's
it
okay
go.
if you don't want to talk about it. But my final question is there any chance that we can get Krellis on our side?
Sounds like he wants payment more than anything.
Yeah,
don't-
I mean, if
We're
it's
not
that
always
way-
going to have a lot to trade
We
him.
know that Krellis is one of the best bounty hunters around. They probably get paid more credits than we ever know what to do with. Gun collector or that kind of thing. Why are they doing what they're doing?
So his reputation is probably second most important to him, to probably money or pay. So he would probably not turn on their employer. So we would have to probably take them out, or he will continue working for this employer and hunting us regardless of how much we have to offer.
Yeah.
To be
It would just be
absolutely-
delayed. He would probably willingly delay just because it continues to make them more. But that's probably about all we could do.
And also, to be honest, it kind of seems strange because we know Krellis so far to be pretty by the books. You know, it's all business with him. They,
I don't.
them.
You guys don't
yeah.
know the appropriate pronoun because of the disfigured, or not disfigured, the body armor that
Yeah.
covers them. So feel free to use whatever pronouns make you guys most comfortable. And if you have to address it in the future because you find out, then that's fine. But
Cool.
we'll just for conversation's sake, just whatever works.
But for some reason, keep on making compromises for us
And contact.
and
Regular
contact. It's almost like he's playing with us.
Is it possible that Krellis is somebody we have met maybe at the academy? Or somebody who's familiar with us, which is why they're making these deals?
Check for how long Krellis has been known.
The personage of Krellis, again, identity has never actually been disclosed, but the bounty hunter Krellis has been in service for at least a century.
All right. Well,
Now,
yeah,
due to
Oh,
the
no, that is
armor,
something.
it could be something that's passed down. It could be kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts, something along those lines, where when one dies, another one's appointed.
They're
However,
fighting the Black Panther.
yes, Patrick just saw the Black Panther, so
I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's not a spoiler.
It's not. It's just a
I
culture
didn't
thing.
even hear what you said. So
For that, you're not really able to tell. But Brawl's idea may be sound, but not the most likely.
all right. Here's the deal. I don't care. All right. I say we play the game. And they obviously want us to play some sort of game. We should hit up one of those areas. I mean, to put it bluntly, he's only after me.
So I have a thought.
Okay.
The next time we see Krellis, we agree to hand you over to him, and then we hire him that after he delivers you, we hire him to then bring you back.
Mm. Yeah, and knowing best,
love it.
I'll be alive for at least a couple weeks.
What is absolutely killing me, I had made mention last week that I had a plan. It wasn't exactly what you just said, but it was so similar, and I am so sad.
I do stand by my idea of maybe we give Miller one of those
That would be
sex-changing
allowed.
serums, and then we say, "Oh, we traded Miller out for the new model."
I'm sorry. I really like my wing dang doodle. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be permanent.
Before anyone gets excited about talks of wing dang doodles, well, I remember you mentioning a little bit about maybe taking out the one who hired the bounty hunter. Well, I think that's not probably a bad idea, but this Vesk matriarch you're talking about, not going to be super easy to get to, but maybe if you had a little help, there are rogue elements even in the Pact Worlds who aren't in full support of the Gerson sphere. A resistance, if you would. They've contacted us a couple times. We have summarily turned them down. However, the last time we had contact with them, I believe they were stationed on Verces. If that helps at all.
Well, all the more the reason then. Yes.
Well, to be honest, we have no contact with them. We don't have like a way to get in touch. But last we heard, which was at least a couple of months ago.
All right. Well, I'm fine with playing the game. We'll roll the dice.
I'm still opposed to going to Verses.
Well,
I'm not going to be the one to recommend going there.
That's all right, because the only one whose head is on the line is this guy's.
That's what I was going to say. Not because I want anything to happen to you, Miller. I obviously don't.
Actually, you guys are putting up more of a fight for me than I am.
If you're okay with it, then I think that's probably not a bad idea.
And if worse comes to worse, you guys got not Sob. He's been trained by the best.
No, he goes with you.
This guy. I don't think you can get him off that ship anymore, Rye. Yeah.
No, right. He was part of the group that saved you.
It's true. Him and his awesome little apron there.
I hate everything.
He actually picked that apron out himself. I was proud of him.
Now, if only to actually wear it.
He was earlier today.
He doesn't always.
He was in an apron.
Anyway, so yeah.
He even wears it in your chair.
I suggest before we make any commitments, we at least try to reach out to Chimera. She's the wife of a politician.
You can ask Justinian.
He is the wife of a politician.
You could probably get a hold of his brother, who's with Chimera.
Said politician, Magistrate Alden Stoyer, had hired the group previously in Season 1. At the end of Season 1, he was captured and detained by the Border Space Union. And to the best of your knowledge, and it is something that you guys would keep track of, he has disappeared into some sort of black bag program within the Gerson Sphere / Border Space Union, has not resurfaced. Chimera has traveled alone with Justinian and your friend Patrick, the dock controller.
Yeah, Patrick's back.
Luckily, we got our money, so we don't really need them anymore.
They are supporting you as much as they can. They were instrumental in getting you in touch with Justinian, who has gotten you into the Pact world. So at the very least, you do have solid relations. You could contact Chimera. However, Chimera has routed all conversations through Justinian, mostly for plausible deniability if she ever had to, because she does still have some clout on Castrovel.
I suggest that before we make any rash decisions, we at least see if we can find out any information, any additional information that we are not privy to on this Oda Shen. Because I am not confident. or as confident as you guys are in us.
I mean,
I'm trying very hard not to say I'm not confident in you guys.
I'm still living now. I got to where I am to this by this day. I got to where I am now by relying on me.
Yeah, not Sob's still alive. Sometimes miracles happen.
Well, in your opinion, right, what would be easier, fighting Vesk or fighting Krillus?
Frankly, Fesk.
Exactly. That's what we're looking to do.
The
Well, we
Vesk
don't have to
are,
choose one at the moment.
There's a resistance
we'll fight
on.
them all.
There's resistance on Verces that we're going to talk to help us with the Vesk.
Yes, that may have information about this Oda Shen.
And I am saying if we reach out to Kamira, we might be able to avoid needing to land on that planet in the first place. We can,
Which, I mean, we could definitely do that. We just have to start moving.
right.
I mean, it's going to take us several days just to get to the planet anyway. We could definitely talk in the meantime.
How much time?
4 days.
It takes 4 days to get from here to.
Versus current
Versus.
calculations with a short drift jump counted out at 4 days.
And then our countdown starts from there.
Correct.
And then from Verces to wherever the Vesk are based.
Oof. The Veskarium is in a different solar system.
Right.
It would be
So-
basically leaving the Pact Worlds, and it would take probably a week or more, if not weeks.
Oh,
I'd have
so
to review drift travel. That is much farther out.
Oh, so we can't get there anyway.
The matriarch Oda Shen, you guys aren't sure where she's based, being that she is the representative of the Veskarium in the Pact World. She's probably somewhere on the Pact World,
Okay, that's.
but in terms of where, it's a big old question mark.
Okay.
All good questions, all good for setting.
Okay, I'm not opposed to finding out about this rebellion. I just want to tap this resource.
You
quickly
could easily
before-
make the call
God damn
while
it.
we're on our way.
Yes. So you guys wanna call? I mean, the call's gonna take minutes. So if you guys don't do it on the way, you could.
Let's make it clear. Everyone wants to go to Verces except for me, so we are going to Verces regardless of any, logistics, logical reasons why I would be opposed to it.
You have no other
You're
destination for
not-
us.
Castrovel.
You make it sound like you just want to talk to her.
Which I could do through regular communications, but there are multiple planets that we could find out where this Vesk is. We can plan an infiltration. We can sneak in. We can take out the threat, less eliminating the job in the first place.
That's exactly the plan, though.
Right. We don't. What I'm saying is we don't have to go to the planet where he knows we're going to be or she knows we're going to be in order to accomplish that. If we can open up a means of communication in any other way from any other planet that he did not name, from any space station, from any asteroid.
Okay, then let's do it.
I will say one thing in favor of Rye that may not be sinking in with you guys. You guys have not yet made contact with any of the actual Pact Worlds. You've been in travel. You were in the Vast for a year, basically on the run from the Border Space Union. Now you got in here. You've been with pirates for, I think, just a couple days at this point. You guys have yet to make landfall. There may be, to Rye's benefit, some resources that you guys could tap with with a more physical setting. Not to say that like arbitrarily picking a planet is the best idea, but in terms of identifying Castrovel, it's where Rye was originally from. It's also where one of your allies is located, and your ally list at this moment is very slim. So I just want to point out to very clear, I don't think Patrick or Rye is making a misdecision. I also understand that the kind of the gravitas of your current situation is a little vague. I think Eox, Verces, or Castrovel are all fine locations.
I would say we check in with our ally first.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Loris, still pacing on the table. This sounds like a plan to me. I'd like you to have something situated before the end of the next cycle, and let me know your timeline. I don't actually want to know where you're going. Please don't tell me. You can pick whatever one of my crew you'd like to take with you for the ship as a pilot.
You don't want to know we're going to Eox?
I would rather not.
Just in
No.
case Krellis asks.
Yes, thank you. I will be sure to postcard them. Um, moving forward, I'm gonna dismiss this. If you are calling, looks askance at Justinian. Justinian, don't include his brother. Thank you. And he pops off the table and leaves the room.
I just telepathically shoot out. Why not mention the brother?
Because they're little whiny spitches when you put them in the same room or vid screen. And I'll hear about it for days.
Oh, so no big deal.
No, it's not a violence thing. It's a convenience thing. You're talking to a pirate. He doesn't care about you guys.
Oh, okay. And are the other guys leaving the room as well?
The only one that was represented from the crew of the mothership was Justinian, and he kind of lingers.
Oh, I just point and say you got a split end, right there.
Oh no, we've got to take care of this, and he bolts out of the room. Yep, he's heading to the crew quarters.
What an idiot!
Yeah, you could have rolled bluff, but even like threatening it, like got his heart rate up enough that he left. So yeah, you got it. So now are you guys gonna make contact with Justinian?
Yeah.
You have like a like number of like almost like burner terminals you can contact through to get in contact with Justinian on Castrovel. Now that you guys are in system, you actually are able to even use a safer network. You're not utilizing the strange and undefined drift network that the Gerson Spheres instituted. You guys are just using standard in-system communication. So it's a little bit more secure. You're not relying on any systems governed by your enemy. So that's good. In terms of the call, it goes through without a hitch. I'll say that you guys throw them up on the vid screen in this little area you guys are in, the conference room, and he pops up relatively quickly, and he is a pallid human, very pale, gaunt cheeks. Looks relatively unhealthy even on the best days. You can kind of see that like the skin has gotten like a slightly reddish tinge from probably sun exposure because Castrovel is basically a tropical planet. However, the red on his cheeks looks more like bruising than it does like rosy coloring. And he's no longer wearing the Savannah hat kind of thing, Savannah hat kind of thing, as he's wearing like the full on like protective gear. Still wearing very much like explorer garb. This is not the traditional garb you're used to him in. He previously in interactions wore like very nice suits. This would be a very step down. It's like a gentleman in the jungle kind of attire. And he comes on screen and he looks around, like kind of around Rye, who is taking the forefront, and says, "Is Justinian not with you?"
I can call him.
No, no, this is fine. How can I help you? Zero, he calls over Rye's shoulder.
That's a mighty fine look. You almost look authentic. You look kind of like my cousin. That's not a compliment.
Yeah, what do I owe the pleasure, Reich?
Well, we just wanted to let you know that Papa Pitas. Yeah, that's a new brand, Papa Pitas.
Okay.
I messed that up, so I'm just gonna
Yep.
abandon that. Yeah. We will be. We would like to arrange a meeting.
With whom?
Your boss.
I see you're not using the drift network this time. What's the purpose, the nature of your call?
I miss my friend.
I will hang up in about 3 seconds if you don't clarify.
Additionally,
Revolution!
we have things to discuss in the lines of keeping people alive,
and you think my employer can be of assistance?
I think she has. Yes, I think that she would have a vested interest in this potentially.
Well, I'm not. So, and from behind him on screen, but you can't see from where just yet, you hear a much more elegant feminine voice than I will ever be able to muster come through
You
and
don't know
say,
unless you try.
Justinian, stop being so obstinate. There is no need for it. You just said they're not in the drift network. Please get out of the chair. Go, shoot. And from behind Justinian, what was looked to be like a kind of a tannish wall, it actually splits open and reveals that it was a tent that set somewhere in the jungle. Kind of as the wall kind of pulls away, you see some heavy, thick jungle trees and things like that. And on screen walks Chimera. You haven't seen her since you guys departed. You guys had left Pistol in a rush. You guys did reconnect on Pyramid Station Beta. That's kind of where you guys had said you had fled to. So there was some reconnection. You guys kind of made plans, and you guys have been in contact since. So you guys had spent some time together, but not too much. So it has been about I'll say maybe 10 months ish to a little less than a year maybe that you guys have seen her. The only difference really, so she's Lushunta. She is very attractive to the point that even beings that would not normally be attracted to a Lashunta or a female tend to gravitate towards her. She keeps her hair very well done. She looks maintained, but in this current attire, which is the savannah, the travel gear, the explorer's gear that kind of mirrors what Justinian was wearing, which is to say, like very rugged canvas, but really well maintained rugged canvas. Uh, the only other difference is that she's also sporting a very large and noticeable baby bump. And
I will reiterate, nothing happened. Not mine.
Just had to snap Chris's face.
she kind of waddles a bit onto screen, sits down, rests in the chair, kind of makes sure her antenna are appropriately positioned, and then she gives her most winning smile at the camera. Right, darling, it has been too long since we last spoke. But
Yeah,
what can I
maybe.
do for my absolute favorite Lashunta abroad?
Long story short, we'd love to stop by, catch up, potentially discuss an overthrow of a small government.
I
As
have
friends do.
a number of problems with that. You
I
may or may
understand.
not be aware that Castrovellians, elves, Formians, all the wonderful species that make up our hodgepodge planet are xenophobic at the best of times. Castrovel is on pretty severe lockdown right now, while they're still trying to, even a year out, reorganize governance for the Lashunta, since most of the leadership was eliminated by the pistol incident, as awful as that was. I'm actually in a little bit of exile myself, which is why my surroundings are so lavish. I won't be much help to you here, although I am happy to offer whatever support I can, again, through communications networks. And as long as you guys stay in system, we can be in more regular contact. And I do still have contacts I can utilize for you. I just don't recommend coming to Castrovel unless you have a really good plan.
Do you know anything about Oda Shen? Or know anybody who knows about her?
Oda Shen, I would say everyone knows a little bit about it. Miller, you're looking alive.
Thank you. You're looking great. You're looking beautiful.
So
I like what you did to you. He kind of points to his stomach.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rye. We interrupted you rudely. Rye, darling, please. You said something?
I don't remember. It's so hot in this ship.
I gotta
Okay.
say, that's probably one of the most rudest things I've ever seen.
Oda Shen, Oda Shen is a well-known figure in both the Gerson sphere governing body, as you were, and also the Vescarium. What exactly do you need to know about her? She's powerful and shouldn't be crossed, and if you're on her bad side, you're probably already dead. But other than that, what information can I give you?
Do you know anybody who especially doesn't like her?
Um,
An enemy and whatnot.
Probably anyone on Triaxis right now. There is rumors of resistance in the Pact world, although I haven't seen much of that on Castrovel.
Yeah,
And
she
I mean,
seems to have hired her, our good old friend Krellis there, to take care of me.
normally I would offer to, well, maybe not for Miller, but normally I might offer to try and purchase the Bounty Hunter's contract if I could, but my finances won't compete with Oda Shen's.
Mm.
Not only
fact-
that, but hey, guys, if we did take care of her, wouldn't somebody else maybe want us dead again after taking care of
Not if we
that?
blame it on someone else.
Mm.
How attached are you to Justinian?
Not very. He just keeps following me around. Stop looking at me like that.
Your brother does the same thing to me. Does he do that stare? You know, the stare.
No.
I can't
That's-
believe I'm gonna say this, but do you want to trade?
I suppose I could use a little bit of a pirate in my life to spice things up right now, but I think I'll pass for now.
Understood.
Do you know any of the name of these resistance groups or maybe a head that we could probably, reach out to?
It's all rumors on the infosphere, and they're not reliable.
Gotcha.
The only one I've seen repeated, and it seems the most fictitious of them all, is some idiot going by the name the Vermilion Blur. It seems like it's a made up name. I don't know if it's a group or a person, but maybe.
That reminds me. Who's the guy that stopped the station from hitting my planet?
The Vermilion
That
Blur.
was him.
No,
right?
You're talking about Tamnel Har.
Tim Nahar.
You also know goes by the name the Vermilion.
Oh, it is his
Mhm.
his
Yes.
name. All right. I didn't know that was his name.
Yes, that you
I'm
guys.
sure Miller did though.
You guys
I'm
got
sure
that.
Chris thought it was the Vermilion Blar.
Can we get a recap for the people who were not here for last season?
Yeah, Tamnel Har as an entity. He is a Kasatha, formerly very high ranking in the Border Space Union, as his father was actually the head of the Border Space Union. Tamnel was the chief inquisition officer, I believe was his title. You guys met him in the kind of backstory that we have never really gone too much into detail of. He handled all of your inquisitions when you guys were being expelled from the school. You met him later again when you guys returned to Pyramid Station Alpha right before it went to absolute heck and back, because he saved you guys in a small encounter in a dock, and
that
one
orc.
of what was that?
With the orc.
Yeah, there was an orc issue that was solved. One of the kind of like thugs that had survived that encounter and fled had called him out as the Vermilion Blur due to the armor that they were wearing and the blade they used. So that's how you guys kind of know that name. He specifically helped you guys in saving Pyramid Station Alpha. He saved a dome. I don't remember which dome he saved, but he saved one dome, and you guys saved Central Dome. Those are the only two domes that made it.
Do you know how we might contact this Mr. Blur?
I might be able to.
As far as I know, he might actually be fictitious. So no, and I don't actually know it's a person. I've just seen it referenced a couple of times.
I thought he gave us a way to contact him. Didn't he give the information to either Rye, Miller, or Zero?
He might have. I just have a bad memory.
I don't remember if it was anything specific.
I know
Do you
that
have?
Miller gave him a business card.
I think the issue is that all happened before the pistol incident, which dramatically changed the landscape. Because you guys met him almost immediately before his father was apparently publicly executed via rocket launcher into his office. That's the last anyone ever heard of his father. And you guys had not seen or been in contact with him other than a brief contact where it was, I think it was like a text between Miller and him that was him being directed to help out with the pistol incident. That was it. That's the last contact. So in terms of like actual real contact, you probably don't have anything. But if this person is related to the resistance in any way, you probably have an in. That's what I'll give you, is kind of what you've kind of garnered from this conversation.
All right. Well, then,
I guess there goes my plan to go to Castrovel.
Well, actually, Rye, if you wanted to come to Castrovel as a Lashunta, you'd probably have much less of an issue, and you could even probably bring an android attendant if you wanted.
Oh yes, by the way, it's absolutely wonderful to see you. He calls from
Seeker's just out of view. Like
Yeah,
you just see half his face.
I'm just pushing his head back.
Just a thought.
Well, we would absolutely love to stop by. Unfortunately, we have dire and pressing matters to figure out first, but following that and another, and I look over in Brawl's direction. Important matter. We could stop by after.
That's, you know what? Even better. I'm working on a little project here that may make it easier to get access to me as well.
Oh.
Everything about this. I say out of character.
But why do you love it then?
What?
Yeah, that's a reference. Hate everything about you, but why do I love? Yeah, you know, yeah, whatever. 3 days cruise, whatever. All this.
Oh, that was. Oh.
Anyways,
Okay, so I think our and then and do you know of any resistance groups on Verses specifically?
No, to be honest, Verses hasn't had. I hate all of you.
We're just the
Verses
chat.
Verses hasn't had. It's been pretty quiet. I know they suffered a tragedy even worse than Castrovel did when the dome dropped on their planet. I mean, honestly, if I was a resistance working anywhere, I'd probably stay somewhere close to where the dome dropped, because that's where you're gonna find the most sympathy. If you can convince anyone that the Gerson sphere is actually responsible, which is apparently very difficult. No one wants to believe that.
Do you know by any chance where on the planet the news dropped?
Oh, directly on Kashak. Yeah, obliterated the entire city, actually.
I slowly pan over in Brawl's direction to see what the reaction is.
Brawl's reaction is displeased, as his village or town was at least on the outskirts of Kashak, which is a major metropolis on Verses. Very well known, actually, because they had a lot of technological innovations from it.
and when that station fell, it was pretty shocking.
Very likely, depending on how bad the impact was, anything in the vicinity would also have been affected, which also likely
What
includes
you say?
Brawl's town.
And the people to shreds today.
And the women, the children too.
To shreds.
Have you heard how long it took each station to make impact upon reaching this system?
They were coordinated. It took, I think it took about 2 weeks from when we last saw the domes. However, they all came simultaneously out of the drift.
Now,
and
did they
impact-
come out of the drift on the planets, or did they come out like several hundred miles away?
a distance was traveled. People were able to see the approaching problems, but not quite enough to really muster a resistance. Like I said, it was coordinated. I think they might have organized in the drift after we last saw them in our hasty retreat. So there was more to it than exactly what we saw.
Well, I was just more or less thinking that they might have known where it was going to land, and some people may have been able to evacuate.
Maybe they didn't on Castrovel, but I can't speak to Verces.
Anyway, I think
So
we
besides
got
that, how have things been?
You want to
Going,
catch up, old friend?
yeah.
going well, but I probably should be going if I've answered your question. I'm feeling a need to answer nature's call, which happens often these days, and we are working rather severely on our project.
We'll be
Come
in
here.
touch.
It was a pleasure having these pleasantries. I know our past has been a bit sordid, but I'm glad we are on speaking terms. I wish you well.
She smiles.
Again,
And
it was
she-
very good to see you.
I wink and I
From me.
double snap.
And she kind of blows Rye a kiss and tries to get one to Seeker, but the camera shuts off. All right, and you guys are left in this conference room with the party and Stevenson, who's been quiet as he always is, just kind of watching things transpire. And what's your next course of action? You were told to pick a crew member from among the pirates to pilot a ship being provided by the pirates, because the indecision would stand out. You guys would be immediately apprehended, or I guess flagged if you arrived anywhere in the indecision.
Miller nominates Ace.
I second that.
I third.
Chris, you know what? Doc Fang. We'll say that you guys kind of come back. Doc Fang is in the med bay, laying in one of the actual kind of like actual.
Actually, yeah,
beds.
that is a good point. Miller would be concerned with how they are doing.
Ace is in a gurney not far, still recovering. Ace had a concussion and a little damaged from being ported out into space via grenade explosion. So thank you, Miller. Doc Fang is hooked up to about 6 different blood bags that are just being stemmed directly into their the different points on their body, but otherwise seems awake and conscious and otherwise unharmed. And as you guys approach and you go for you kind of try to nominate Ace, Ace kind of shrugs. She's willing. She still looks a little out of it. Doc Fang, in all of your minds simultaneously, says, if you'll be taking Ace with you, you will need to wait at least 48 hours. Doctor's orders. She was wounded.
And how you doing, Doc?
You were met with absolute silence. Just keeps looking with kind of bright orange eyes and purple face, right into your eyes. Doesn't say anything.
He doesn't talk much. I tried talking to him in the other room over there.
Yeah.
I telepathically reach out to him. Yeah, how you doing, Doc?
He looks at you, and in your kind of like a response, it's basically the form of mental static, which sounds a lot like people screeching, and that's all you get as a reply is this kind of awful mental static.
To shreds, you say?
And how's the wife? To shreds, you say?
Moving on from the skit, I don't understand.
It's from Futurama.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else? You can do Ace, rather you can nominate Ace to travel with you. Damn it.
What are the
And
other
that
options
will
that we have?
it'll just delay you guys by 2 days, which
What are the other
will
options that we have?
you have in terms of the crew,
Yeah.
Ace is their better pilot. You have Marcus the Merc, who could potentially be of service. Gilandrathel won't go with you. He actually doesn't know how to fly.
We can bring
Uh,
Dustinian, and I could just fly the ship.
You've got Trubnalig, who would be fine. I don't remember what Trubnalig was. I don't have that listed on here. You've got
The android, wasn't
was he the android? Yes, you're
Yep.
right. I'm sorry, he was the
Yeah,
android.
android chef science officer.
Mandibles Thrask would be all right, and Dustinian would also be fine.
Dustinian would probably be a good choice. And
I'm
I
okay
could just
with
fly the ship.
Destinian.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, I'm delighted you guys have all come to me, of all people. I would have figured you'd have gone to Ace. I'm touched, flattered. Please tell me it was Rye who nominated me.
It
Yeah.
was
Yes,
actually.
that was right.
I hate everybody.
I'm going to have a very wonderful trip with you all, I think. I enjoyed traveling with you the bit of the first time, and now we'll have almost a full week together.
Oh god.
I'm touched.
We are running low on crew quarters.
We're
We're
not
not
taking
taking. We're not
the
taking our ship. I'm sorry. We would have stuck you. We would have stuck you with Rye, but
Would not happen.
Not a problem. We're going to board. Do I have a ship name? You know what? We'll board the Rusted Chrome, and we'll be fine. We don't need to worry about that. Plenty of crew space there. Lots of rooms for activities of any nature, in fact.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait.
I'm ready to depart now if you are. I like to pack light and kind of make do as I go. In fact,
I know
let's
what you
not
mean.
tell the commander you've chosen me until we're safely off ship. I think that'd be best.
All right.
Why is that?
Oh, he gets a bit jealous a bit. I don't know.
Sense motive 24.
Yeah,
Sense motiving. I am sensing every motive forever, always, of all time.
he honestly believes that the captain will get jealous.
Gotcha. He has a misunderstanding of the captain.
I think you might have a misunderstanding of the captain.
Or he has a captain complex.
He very well might. And I said the captain, I mean the commander. Dustinian is technically the captain. The commander is Lahuris.
Whatever.
All right. Well, no, I totally agree. I think we should leave. The sooner the better.
Oh, all right, let's go. I'm very happy. Come on, follow me. We're going to the lower decks. We're going to get one of our ships, and we'll be off. If you guys have any parting words to maybe have with Laris or any of the other crew, please do so. I'll go prep the ship, and I'll see you soon.
All right.
As he walks by Rye, he does wink.
Good game. Oh.
And not good game. He winks and goes,
Hair knot.
"Damn it!" Kind of keeps going.
Miller does find the commander.
Perfect.
We have decided we're leaving immediately. I do want to thank you for your hospitality, and I apologize for all of this. And you just got to point around.
This is part of the course. We're pirates. That's not a problem. However,
This pirating thing is very new to me.
we'll get you acclimated, right?
I
So,
can't wait.
I'll do some digging on your casino friend.
Mm.
See if we can make any inways there. It's not a bad resource. I just don't like it. But
I understand. It's very dangerous. Lots of eyes.
I appreciate your being aware of our needs and leaving so quickly.
Mhm.
We look forward to having you back, or whatever's left of you in particular. Sorry, friend. As soon as you've sorted out your bounty hunter problems,
Yeah, par for the course.
of course. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, just a handshake. You need to.
Oh yeah, he was already, as soon as you did handshake, spit in his hand, rubbing it together, and yeah, the Yosoki greeting or the Yosoki deal making. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is the face you see from Rye.
Oh, were you with me?
I was assuming we
Oh.
all were.
I think it was probably solo.
This is the face you would see from Rye.
That's fair. That's fair. You've seen it before, so that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys? We're about 5 minutes ahead of schedule, but that's okay. We're gonna wrap
good
it up
stopping point.
tonight. We will go into the after party, so people in Twitch can chat with us, and we'll chat with you, and we can talk about the episode or other things. No Avengers spoilers, please.
Just cutting
Patrick
quick
has a
path.
point.
Yeah, I do have one thing at some point in time, just in passing, like the credits start rolling. And
Yep,
then
sure.
Cut scene to me walking down the hall, running into Brawl. And I look at him and I say, I meant everything. We will do what we can to find your family. But I also meant everything. And I walk away, alluding to the threat.
Yep. Brawl, rejoinder or parting shot? No is an
No.
acceptable answer. Okay, fine. All right. So we walk away with the credits pick up again and actually keep going. And join us next week for what comes next, the trip to Verses and maybe whatever happens on Verses. And what was that?
And the confrontation between Rye and Seeker too about the stuff.
Yeah,
I'd
because we'll have some
imagine.
travel time. We'll have some downtime. We'll do a little. We are not going to spend the entire episode on travel, but we'll do a little bit of the intro.
You're anticipating confrontation. I thought.
Well, well, you know, I meant talking.
Well,
That's
it's going to be
That's a
like
confrontation.
4 days of Rye getting into people's heads.
That's true.
That's actually not a bad use of time. Stop giving him ideas.
That's exactly what I
Well,
was.
he had stated that he was going to do that first chance he got.
I did. This is canon.
All right. Next week, folks, we're here, same place, same time, 8:30 p.m. EST for Starfinder. Hope you guys are enjoying Mostly Harmful so far. And please hang out for the after party now. And I think after the after party, we'll be rating someone. So, Nick, make sure you have a plan for that.
Yep,
All right.
you get it.
I'm going to
Really?
actively pee my pants. So I'm going to go pee and then I'll come right back down and hang out for the after
Well,
party.
you could just do it here. Everyone watch this.
Nope.
Yeah,
All
if
right.
You're gonna actively.
It said actively.
Remember, everybody, what
Stay
was
where
it?
you are.
Come on, never split
Yeah,
the
Dustin.
party.
Yeah, Dustin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin.
Bye.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, what a slacker.
Black.
Hi, friends.